What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sit Down. I'm DJ Sixsmith. The Code is here on CBS. I'm joined today by Anna Wood. How are you?
Hi, I'm well, and you?
I'm very well.
Good.
Congratulations on the show.
Thank you.
So how did it all come together? You know, take me through the whole process, the audition, hearing about the show, you know?
So this is actually my first big job back after having my kid.
Congrats.
Thank
That's
you.
big.
Yeah, it was big. So I decided that I was ready to go back to work. It was a hard decision. But then this one came up, and I actually was friends with Mark Webb. My husband had worked with him prior on The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and I crashed their European press tour.
Nice move.
Thank you. And I just really liked the material. I really like this character because she is just, I don't know how to not cuss and say how I want to describe her, but she's unmesswithable. And I went in the room and did the audition, and it seemed like we really clicked. They gave me one note, came back in the next day, and that was that. I shot the pilot. After the pilot, there were some recastings, and that took a while, so we had a few months where we were like waiting to see what happened. Then they brought in Dana Delaney. And
good person to have on that show.
Oh my God, she's amazing.
Yeah.
And they brought in Luke Mitchell, also amazing, and we reshot the pilot, and we just wrapped 3 weeks ago on the whole series.
Wow, so you've been through a couple iterations of this show, which I'm sure is interesting for you because you've just been waiting for this moment. First show back after having a kid, you're ready, but at the same time, you need the right cast, you need the right show, and I'm sure those changes have really helped things out for you.
Yeah, our cast is awesome. Like, it's just the coolest group of people. That's my favorite part of just my personal experience on the show is going to work every day with these people. I mean, it's like we're truly a family. We're all getting together tonight to watch the show.
Nice.
And it's just like a really good group of friends. They're all very professional, hardworking, and extremely talented. So that's honestly the best part.
So how long were you out of work?
So let's see. I got pregnant while on a show called Falling Water, the last season of that. And then it got picked up for a second season. I did do a few episodes of the second season. I had a 3-month-old at the time. And then I waited around because I didn't want to, it's hard to have a kid, and I wanted to be away from her. I wanted that to be worth it.
Yeah.
So I waited for a while. All in all, it was. I got to spend about her whole first year with her.
That's awesome.
I celebrated her first birthday during the pilot.
Awesome.
And her second birthday a week ago today.
There you go.
Yeah.
So what did you miss the most about being at work?
So I went to school for acting. I met my husband in acting school. I've never not acted.
Right.
So I didn't realize until I stepped away what a crucial part of me it was to be creating and to be expressing myself and to have an outlet to be loud and explore my weird impulses.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just connect with people in another way. I just really, really love acting. And I loved having the year with my daughter, but I feel much more whole now that I am spending time with her and going back to work.
It's such a big part of your identity, and you need that. But at the same time, being a mother is such an important thing.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
But I appreciate my time more with her now because I go to work and I miss her right now. I'm going to go home and nom 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 her face. So it's been good for both motherhood and just my sense of self.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you can just appreciate all the things that you have in your life, which is an awesome thing.
I am blessed, for sure.
No
I
doubt.
have a lot of good stuff going on.
Yeah, and when you mentioned your character in Captain Dobbins, like you mentioned it, like no one's messing with her, no one's touching her.
She's the best.
So where was the inspiration for that role, and how'd you prepare?
Well, she sort of gave me permission. There's a huge part of me that likes to think that she's like that, and she sort of gave me permission to tap into that and unlock it and unleash it. So she's in there somewhere, and that side of me is what I really want to access when it comes to my daughter too. Like, I want my daughter to be like a tough, no-nonsense little New Yorker.
Yeah, and that's a great role model of a character, and as a mother too.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So a lot of this is for my daughter, and for myself. I feel like playing Maya has made me less apologetic. It's made me like able to claim my space a little bit more and just be a little bit more confrontational in a good way, deal with conflict in a healthy, productive way.
Absolutely.
She's just really got it going on, and I'm trying to like take as much of that as I can from her.
She doesn't seem like the character that's going around saying, I'm sorry for this and I'm sorry for that. Yeah,
no,
that's not her style.
And I realize that I have a bad habit of doing that. Like, if someone bumps into me, I apologize. And I'm just don't think that's a good example for my kid, and it doesn't make sense, you know, to apologize for your space. So I'm just trying to be like, excuse me, not rude, but I have nothing to be sorry for, and so just sort of like be okay being here and being now a little
Absolutely,
bit
and it's just about changing the culture, whether it's in our society or in the Marine world as well, because being a woman in that world certainly isn't easy. So what did you learn about that whole world and just, you know, kind of infiltrating a place where it's been very male-dominated for a long, long time? Yeah,
well, I like getting down and getting in the ring with the boys. I feel like I function really well in that world, but yeah, the military is interesting because it is largely built on just the idea that women don't fight in general. Right. So what was cool about this show is that Maya doesn't take that into consideration at all. She's aware that that used to be the mindset, but it's not her mindset. She doesn't consider it at all. She just sort of goes about her business and does her best work. She's a perfectionist. She's competitive. It doesn't matter if it's a male or a female. She considers herself among, if not the best in the room, and so it doesn't matter if the other people in the room are male or female. She's the best person in the room at her job.
She's going to do her thing.
She's going to do her thing. Yeah, exactly.
So let's talk about your career, because you've done a bunch of different things, TV shows, movies, and you've seen stuff that's hit, you've seen stuff that you've bounced around and stuff hasn't worked out. So what have you learned about the industry as you've navigated through?
That's a great question. I have learned that all I have control over is showing up to work and doing my best work, which is basically the stuff that I learned to do in acting school, how to break down the script, how to talk and listen with my scene partner. And at the end of the day, I did my job. There's so many factors that go into a show being successful or not that I have no control over. I can't control how the show's advertised. I can't control who's seeing those advertisements, what we're airing at the same time as, and who turns up to see it. I have no control over that. So I've learned not to get disappointed in those things because they happen, and it has nothing to do with the quality of the work.
That's just life.
It's just the way the cards business, fell that year. Yeah. So like I've really learned to find joy and fulfillment in just my work on set, on the day, and that be enough.
Yeah, definitely. So with that being said, what are the roles do you take the most joy in when you look back and say, I'm most proud of the work I did on this show or this movie?
I would say this show I'm the most proud of, just because it's the strongest female that I've gotten to play so far, the strongest person I've gotten to play so far, and I've also learned how to balance. Well, I'm attempting to learn how to balance like motherhood and work life, which is really, really hard, but makes me feel so proud and accomplished when I pull it off. I really loved also I did one episode of Mad Men.
What season was that?
The last season. Okay. I was the Hare Krishna in the weird Hare Krishna episode. It was like a very atypical guest star for a woman on Mad Men. But it was such an important show at the time.
Absolutely, yeah.
And to be a part of it was such a gift. And then I was so different than most of the girls that were on the show, and I loved that job. It was really, it was the first job I did where it embraced my like weirdness a little bit, and my like the hippy dippy side of me and the like kind of gross, strange side of me.
I'm sure you were waiting for something like that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, it's a big part of me. You know, I'm from like the boondocks, like I'm part redneck, part hippie, and so like anytime I get to play around with my true self, which is not like necessarily wearing a dress and full hair and makeup, I'm a little bit more gritty than that in real life. So anytime I can do anything like that,
you're like, this feels comfortable. This is me.
Well, and and I feel more I can play around within that because it's who I am.
Right, and especially on the set of Mad Men, when you're thinking about all the people associated with that show, it's just
so
like,
cool.
That's the caliber of talent you want to be working with and exploring different things with. So what do you remember the most about that?
I had to do some like weird stuff on the show. I went to a Hare Krishna meeting. I was singing, I was dancing, I seduced someone, I blackmailed someone. I did some like really sort of dark and...
You went all the way in.
I went pretty hard on Mad Men. So giving myself permission to go there, that was one of the first times where I really was like, one of my mottos is, F it. Like, what do you have to lose? Just dive.
Why not?
Like,
exactly.
So that was one of the first times I was able to put that into practice. But I also remember just in between scenes being with like these iconic characters, and the actors that played them, they would play cards in between scenes, or like they played like dominoes, and like they were all wearing these beautiful suits, but they were sitting around doing, well, not even modern stuff. It was really a cool, iconic place to be. And we were on a lot in LA, which is always feels sort of romantic because it's old Hollywood.
And especially that time period too.
Yeah. All these cars and these beautiful suits, and it was just a really cool experience. It was like, it felt very iconic.
Definitely. So you also did The Following, which was also like another weird, trippy sort of part for you. That was a great show, by the way.
Yeah, that was a great show.
Love that show.
I didn't watch it until I booked it. And we were just going to check it out to get the vibe, and then we just got addicted and tore through the whole thing. That was a cool job to be a part of.
Yeah, that's another part where you can just kind of deep dive on this whole cult world and be like, I can't believe this is a thing, but it also makes perfect sense how people just get into this whole lifestyle.
It was so well written, and the actors were amazing on that show. They were very welcoming too, and that was another thing where it's like, spoiler alert, I was offed on the show like many people were, and you can't sort of, can I say half-ass?
Yeah, go for it.
You can't half-ass a death scene. Like if you're being like tortured and you're scared for your life, you really have to fully commit. Otherwise, it's BS. So like, it was another opportunity where I felt the freedom of like just fully committing to something. And it was really empowering and freeing to be a part of that show.
And I think it's cool also that you have the ability to play roles like that, play a role like this, just to show your versatility. And also just to have the main platform now, because like we're in this crazy age of TV where it's like streaming services, network shows, and like what once was the focus on movies, like is really coming to TV. So I'm sure you and your husband can sense that just in terms of where the industry's at now.
Oh yeah, he just finished shooting a TV show for Amazon. So like, and he hasn't done a TV show in years and years and years, but it's just such an exciting time to be a part of TV. And what's cool is like I'm doing this CBS procedural with like a modern twist, and he's off doing this very different, our kid cannot see that show.
Gotta wait a few years before
and it's just like we're both on a TV show, and it's like we're in two different worlds, and that wasn't always the case. Yeah, it's really cool.
Definitely. So what are some other things you'd like to do as you go forward?
I mean, I just love a challenge. Like I feel like I do my best work when I'm kind of scared of it. I like to be scared of my work, and I like to be challenged by it, because if it's easy for me, if it feels easy, or I feel like actors can tend to get lazy if they keep doing the same thing over and over. So and I think you can find challenges, you know, if we are lucky enough to keep going with the show, you can find challenges in the evolution of your character. There's a challenge, it's a challenge and a gift to play the same character for several seasons. I mean, that's incredible. So I just always like to be a little scared of my work, and I like it to force me out of my comfort zone, because that's when I feel weirdly freest, and that's when I feel like the quality of my work is at its best.
Yeah, finding a way to be comfortable when things are uncomfortable. I think that's a great lesson for life.
Yeah, exactly.
No doubt. Well, Anna, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you.
Thank you. Why don't you tell everybody where they can check out the code? Okay,
the code is on CBS tonight, April 9th at 9, 8 Central, and the following week it switches to Mondays.
All right, there you have it. Anna Wood, we'll see you next time here on The Sit Down.
Thank you.